restream.
Race PB by 13 minutes. 14 minutes, get the 48.
Yeah. Alright. So, oh wait, we gotta get through targets first before anything.
So coming up is the final boss of this run.
Oh.
Dang, Justin missed some of the shots.
Yeah,
Dang,
Pan had a little bit better first targets.
They both. Okay, the second phase is finished. Okay, so that's probably the hardest fight in this game.
So what you see both players do there is called a scan dash. In Metroid Prime 1, you have no sideways speed cap, so they can abuse the combat strafing mechanic, which gives you a whole bunch of speed and then slows you down at the end. By releasing the lock-on, you can keep the speed that you gain. And it's the fastest form of movement currently in the game.
Yeah, or it's the fastest unmorphed movement. If once you get boost, you can actually, with enough space, you can build up speed. You can build up linear speed infinitely. You can also do that if you're stuck against some sticky collision. But for the time being, dashing is the fastest method of movement.
Yeah.
I believe followed by optimal B-hopping, and then followed by morph ball rolling. The optimal B-hopping is really hard.
I believe that, yeah, that is correct. And then just below that is L-jumping.
Yeah. For practical purposes, it's usually best to morph. So like you'll see here, like they're morphing through these tunnels.
What we're seeing Justin about to do is called a ledge clip. So when you get stuck, messing up the setup right there. When you get stuck on a ledge in certain spots, the game will try and reposition you, and by holding, Pan getting it pretty well too. By holding back in that instance, they'll land on the little bit of collision that's right behind them, and they can skip. I think it saves like what 10 seconds or something. And pretty soon here, we're going to have our first quote-unquote boss fight. This is supposed to be a boss fight. But as Justin should demonstrate, goes down pretty easily. Yep. Pan having a pretty fast fight too. So normally what's supposed to happen there is you're supposed to scan the Parasite Queen to reveal that the weak point is the mouth, and then you can just lock on that. But you can just manually aim up there and do a whole bunch of damage with another technique called rapid fire missiling, where if you hold up on the C stick or press A, you can cancel the cooldown animation of the missile and just fire another missile immediately. Do you know if Pan... I know Justin's going to do Frigate Wall Crawl here, but do you know if Pan does Frigate Wall Crawl? Okay, I might be on my own for a while. Okay, so they're both doing Frigate Wall Crawl, so... they did another reposition to when they morphed to get themselves out of bounds, and they're going to use this to escape the frigate. Justin having a little trouble getting the... okay, there he goes. And... yeah, it really is. He's on a really good pace so far. And Justin escaping with 5:23 remaining. That was really good. So while Frigate Wall Crawl lets you skip the item loss cutscene in the actual escape sequence, it does not skip the. It is not. There's two item losses in Metroid Prime. The second one just as you land on Talon, and that's one that you can't skip because it happens as you're loaded in. It's like right there on top of the ship, I believe. Pan having a really good escape too. I didn't quite see what his time was, but yeah, it was really fast. Both of them off frigate, so most volatile point in the early game is done. And round 5? Okay, that's still really good. And Alright, so Justin already did it while I was talking about Pan's Frigate Wall Crawl, but what? Oh, so what Pan is doing here is a scan dash over to this ledge here. That lets him get the space jump boots much earlier in the game than you're supposed to. Normally, you're supposed to like get Boost Ball and Fendrana after getting. Does it wave? No, I don't think wave. No. After getting Boost Ball, you're supposed to come all the way back here for Space Jump Boost. So this skips like a third of the game's backtracking. Yeah, wow, Justin's too fast for my commentary. So, Justin picked up a missile expansion in the half pipe over there. You don't. A lot of people believe that you have to slope jump to get there. You don't have to. You just have to stand at the highest point in the half pipe and just double jump up there. And he can fire missiles now because the missile launcher is really, there's not much different with it besides a different model. Actually, I don't even think the model's different, but it just has a fancy cutscene associated with it. That's really the only difference between missile launcher and missile expansions. And I hope you guys will don't mind this mini boss music because we're going to hear it for a while, at least until we get to Incinerator Drone. And Justin paused. Justin brought up the map there because excuse me. Justin brought up the map back there in Ruined Shrine because for whatever reason that door takes a while to open. The rooms load instantly to my knowledge, but it just takes a while to open the door. But for some reason, pausing or bringing up a map or something will let it open much faster than normal. Room is tilted? Yeah, no. I just want to point out how really good this pace is by Justin. Most people, I believe, get Charge Beam at around 11 minutes in. He's got it 9 minutes in. Well, 9:30, 10 minutes in. Oh, we're talking about missile launcher thing. Okay, excuse me then. And we're just about. It's just about a good time to talk about Incinerator Drone too. So, Incinerator Drone has a nickname in the community called Zoid after the senior programmer that programmed him. And it has what is it, like 35 seconds of variance in the fight. The first phase, there's like 10 seconds of variance on when the weak point will show up, and that's really the only RNG in the fight, is when the weak point decides to come up. And I believe it's the RNG is decided when you enter the room, so it is not easy to really. It's really not easy to manipulate it. Or predict it. We tend to know if it.
So, after 5 seconds, if it hasn't, it checks every frame, and after 5 seconds, if it doesn't pop up, then it pops up automatically, and then for each subsequent rounds, it's 10 seconds.
Right. Welcome back, by the way. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Were we having mic issues or something, or?
I muted myself so that I could go do something, but forgot to unmute myself.
A classic mistake.
I'm a dummy. Anyways.
Justin had a decent incinerator drone, I believe.
I just noticed it right before Justin said, if THK is talking, we can't hear.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I noticed the red light, and I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We might just switch to Pan's audio so that we can tell how good his incinerator drone is. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to do that really quick. It does not look like incinerator drone is being nice to him.
Yeah. So yeah, every frame it checks, and then if all of the checks fail after a set amount of time, it comes up automatically. And so for that reason, I believe it, like, having, for each round, having a worst possible Zoid is more likely than any other frame. Although I don't believe, like, in totality, having...
I believe Pan got an average incinerator drone fight. It sounded like he killed it just as the music started to loop again.
Okay, let's switch back to...
Yeah, I just did that. So Flagra. A particularly mundane boss, even in casual play, I would say.
This is Michael Bay.
That's a good one. So these Morphball bomb slots are not actually true bomb slots. They're just damage triggers that are vulnerable to bomb-type damage. You could destroy them with a power bomb if you wanted to. So what you're going to see Justin do is a series of scan dashes to get to the side and bomb them from the outside. These are, I believe, the only bomb slots that work this way.
Yo, what up, Metroid 177?
Also, Justin took a safety save here in case something happened, while Pan did not. So Pan is taking a bit of a risk trying to save some time.
What if, they're both gonna nail Artifact of Early Wild, though.
I mean, both of these runners are really good at the game, so I believe that should be correct, because the IBJ, I'm not thought of that dash. I may have to remember that one off the dish. But yeah, the IBJ, it can be a little nerve-wracking, but with some practice, it can be really consistent. But it's still something where, like, if you fail it, then that's a lot of time that you've lost. Is it? I might have to watch that segmented run again.
The wall crawl for what secret world do you do? I've never heard of this wall crawl.
Oh, if you miss early while, I believe you. Where is it?
Oh.
But yeah, East was talking about the mirror dash, but I believe you go out of bound in Plaza and wall crawl up Sun Tower.
Yeah.
And Alright, so what Justin is going to do is that he's going to
do artifact of early wild.
He's going to do a trick called infinite bomb jump, and this is one of the few places in the game where you can do this without a glitch called floaty jump. What he's doing is he's wedging himself in the corner here and letting the friction slow his descent down enough so that he can keep chaining bombs like this and just climb back up Sun Tower. And he gets it first try. Really, really impressive. So what that does is that it changes the layer in, I believe the room is Sun Chamber. Is that right? It changes the layer off of the one from the Flagra fight onto the Ghost layer, where you can do the Ghost fight for the Artifact of Wild.
Oh, did she go for the early X-ray route? Whoa.
Well, I have never seen ghosts spawn so close to each other before.
No! F.
Alright, and Pan is about to attempt early wild. And he gets a first try.
Pan gets the artifact of early wild.
You love that, don't you?
Yes.
Looks like ghosts are not being too kind to Justin. Yeah, that did not... Yeah, that looked like some angry shots. Oh! Oh, he still has one more ghost? Wow.
FDQ.
So, ghosts suck. We'll see how Pan's fight ends up. At least Justin was able to get a dash point to get to the door.
Okay, so now he's going to be going through Magmore to go, just go to Phendrana and get the boost ball.
Magmore is really the
It's kind of like a central hub area.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say central because it's I'm not really sure if it could be called that, but yeah, it is the hub of the game. It connects to every area.
Everywhere except the Impact Crater.
Yeah. Which there's only one area in the game that connects to there. Also, I want to point out, a lot of people seem to believe that you need super missiles to open up that that pillar, you really don't. You just need to fire 2 missiles, 4 if you're playing on hard, but I don't know anyone that really plays on hard.
When I did my first hundo run, I played on hard because I thought that it made early newborn impossible, and so I didn't want to feel bad about not doing it.
I think phase-on damage is the one thing that is not affected by a hard mode.
Yeah, I know. Lava damage is affected by hard mode.
It is, but phase-on damage isn't. It's really, really weird.
Yeah, and so then I think I died. I think I died to a Mega Pirate.
Yeah.
And then someone in chat told me, like, phase-on damage isn't affected, right? And I'm like, crap.
Yeah. Also, Justin skipping race tank. We'll see if Pan does that. By the way, during that whole conversation, Justin went through all of Magmore and ended up in Fendrana now. Oh, I really don't like that puffer. Ooh, very nice monitor station dash by Pan. And Pan is opting to get the race tank. Didn't carry the dash all the way to boost ball. SMH. In reality, though, that dash is actually a little harder than it looks. It's very easy to miss the opening, even though it's, I would say, pretty decently sized. And coming up, we're going to see Justin go out of bounds again to do a wall crawl that we call Wave Sun, which involves a trick called, not a trick, a glitch called Infinite Speed, where if you get stuck in collision while the map is on the wrong room, your morph ball can start to get rotational speed exponentially faster and faster until it reaches the, I want to say, the 32-bit limit. Is that right?
I'm not sure. So if you get stuck inside collision, in like it's sometimes possible to hold a direction and it'll rotate. It's not strictly necessary to have the map on the wrong room, but usually if you're stuck inside collision while the map is on the right room, it kicks you out. Like you'll see that if you go up to a wall and morph, you kind of get bumped out. That's only whenever you're inside the box for that room. So if you have the map on the wrong room, you can get stuck inside collision anywhere. For this one here, you're going to see he uses the fact that the map is on the wrong room to clip back in bounds. And then he's going to get stuck inside the collision and start building up the angular momentum.
Yeah, and
I think it's the 64-bit limit.
64-bit, I think, is a little too large for that, because I know like the
sure.
actual value is like 2.13 billion or something like that.
No, it's way more than that.
32-bit. Yeah, thank you, Ari.
Because 2.4 billion would be 32-bit integer.
Is it 2.4?
Yeah, or it would be 2.1. Sorry. That's 32-bit integer, signed integer, and then 4 billion would be unsigned.
Okay. Well, yeah, so if you look at Justin's screen, the ball is kind of flickering. Yeah. That's an indication that he has the infinite speed. That he's working on infinite speed right now.
Yeah. So once it gets to the limit, it gets set to nan or not a number. And then if you boost That it just happened right there. If you boost while your angular momentum is nan, the collision checks, it causes, I believe, I'm not entirely sure on the details, but it causes most of the collision checks to return true, and so the game thinks you're touching the game thinks you're touching both the wave beam and touching the artifact of sun, and so you collect both.
Yeah, that's correct. I believe it also checked true for the Sheegoth as well.
Yeah. It also, well, there are some things that can't be collected with it, and so it's not every single.
I actually did not know you could just shoot those rocks with the power beam.
I did not either, huh?
Well, that's good to know, I suppose, if you only have one missile left during that wall crawl.
Why do people shoot those with missiles?
It's faster. It looked like it took a couple. It looked like it took a couple shots. For
that's probably. That's probably. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in this game, it's the infinite speed is only really used for collecting items. But in Echoes, it has more uses. You can, for the old way of getting out of bounds for item loss skip, you would use it to touch a cutscene trigger from out of bounds.
Which also had a chance of crashing, by the way, so it was absolutely miserable for the longest time.
It's you just get stuck in reset hell. Unlike Frigate, it's RNG. There's like a 50-50 shot that it crashes.
I think there was a slight method for mitigating it, but it wasn't too much.
Yeah, it's I believe Aruki E-Dragon found it using PWE. He's like, hey, there's a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and it just made all of us feel like so dumb because like we found this convoluted method of doing this while oh wait, there's just a hole up here.
Yeah.
That we could have gone through this whole time.
It's the infinite speed. It's also used in a couple of different categories for touching triggers, like in Max No Dark. It's used for touching the triggers to kill Caretaker. Anyways, Pan's making his way out of Fendrana now, and Justin just made it out of Magmor. Grand Abyss was always easy. What are you talking about, East?
Not for most people. But yeah.
So the thing about Grand Abyss is that it's in a superposition. So whenever you it's both TAS only and completely free at the same time. And whenever you enter, its wave function collapses. And then so it's one or the other.
So yeah, there's
I think it PWE did not.
It did not exist. No, that was something that came after the first ILS method.
And I believe the first ILS method was one of the first places that infinite speed was found. I'm not sure if it's the first, but I know it was found in Echoes before it was found in Prime 1.
Yeah, but it was not found for ILS. It was just a matter of, hey, I think we could use this for ILS, and turns out we could. Because we already knew through using moon jump cheats that if you touch that trigger again, it just puts you out of bounds for whatever reason.
Yeah. Lamau.
Speaking of infinite speed, coming up here in about a minute or so, Justin's about to do another infinite speed to get a power bomb expansion early, the one from Magma Pool specifically. And it's important for getting X-ray, like just after we get the ice beam.
So this is the other major use of infinite speed. It's used to collect an early power bomb. because this route uses infinite speed twice, it's called the double IS route. Here you get stuck inside the collision with this wall and that box. And then you use the grapple lock on to set up the right camera angle for the infinite speed.
And this was another example that Stixler was talking about where you don't.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of this one. Yeah, I immediately thought of this IS when you said that it doesn't have to be on the wrong room. I can't believe I forgot about this.
Yeah. It's in most cases though, it's a lot easier to do it on the wrong room because
it's just
only free if you're on Nintendo. Anyways, he's almost finished building up the speed. This one I believe takes a little bit longer than the other one because the game lags. But I believe in-game time they both take 55 seconds.
Yeah, so because the game is slowing down, in-game time is also slowing down.
Yeah.
And so what Justin's going to do is called a light show cancel. So this is light show. And what he did was that he jumped up to get the camera in a fixed spot so that it would return. I don't know exactly how it works, but I believe it returns the camera to a fixed state, and that's what cancels light show.
Yeah. Now, do we know what causes Resident Evil camera?
Boosting while light show isn't canceled. There's something that happens with that, and I don't remember exactly where, but I think like you have to touch a wall or something.
So now, Justin is going to be doing the Gathering Hall Secret World, and this wall crawl can be used to get Ice Beam basically as soon as after you get bombs, and so for that reason it's called Ice Beam before Flagra.
But in this route we do this after Flagra, so it had the...
I don't call it IBBFAF. No, it's IBBF.
Thank you. I don't like that name either.
It's like...
But IBBF is used in the most optimal 100% route before Flagra.
Yeah. It's also used in the most optimal any percent route. There's a new route that just got discovered recently. Where,
X-ray, right?
You do IBBF, and then you go and wall crawl to X-ray and skip the power bombs there. And so you actually you go get X-ray, and then I don't believe you return to Chozo until endgame. No!
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
No!
Oh, Justin got stuck on the collision. At the very least, he didn't trigger the ghost fight, but that is I believe I made that mistake in my race versus Diggle round 1. Yeah, IBBF is not an easy wall crawl to do.
Are there any other expansions you can get? Okay, wait. Which expansions would it skip?
Life Grove Tunnel. Life Grove Tunnel is the only one I can really think of off the top of my head.
I think it would also skip the one in Transport Access B.
Would you not go through Overrun Cavern, Root Cave? I think you mean Transport Access B there. Icefire.
Yeah, it's connected to Root Cave though. It's the same crap. Let's see, what other missiles could you get to?
There's really not a whole lot that's as on the way as those ones are.
How much does getting the one in What if you got the one in Furnace?
That would not
Doesn't
be
that,
anything.
that one's obnoxious.
It's very obnoxious, yeah.
What are we getting the one in, what is it? Crossway.
You would have to pass through Crossway for that to be worth it, I think.
Yeah. Well, don't you do that for Ghost Skip, though?
No.
You know, if you're doing, you would...
Well,
It just
maybe-
got discovered that you can
maybe-
do Ghost Skip with the,
maybe in the early X-ray route, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You do that by going through to go around through Crossway.
I don't think.
It does now.
I don't think
It just got discovered the other day.
Yeah, but I think I think those ones would offset the time that early X-ray saves. Oh, Pan falling down as well, but that's in, I believe that's West Furnace Access. Is this West or East Furnace Access? I mean, either way, it's not as bad as the fallen Hall of the Elders that Justin had earlier. But it is West. Okay, thank you.
Apparently it's dead, but I want it to be alive because early X-ray is way cooler than this route. I hate this route.
I personally love it. It's really nice that the optimal route is can be so beginner friendly. I think that's something that not a lot of other games have.
But like, the early X-ray is cool.
I mean, I won't argue that, but I mean, I like when things are accessible for newer players. That makes things a lot more interesting. But yeah, Justin just got X-ray, Ice Beam, and why am I
also got the
forgetting?
artifact that shows up.
Artifact Shoso, that's it. Yeah, thank you. I was forgetting what that artifact's name is. And right now he's going to also be going to get the next thing that he's going for is Plasma Beam.
So wait, why do you have to fight the ghosts eventually? Why can't you just do Ghost Skip twice?
It might be a routing thing.
If I came back to any percent, I'd probably do early X-ray just because it's more fun.
Isn't the escape from Life Grove kind of bad?
Yeah, but like, it's cool. Anyway, so now he's making it his way to the ship. This is about the midpoint.
Yeah. A little about the midway point, yeah. Pan, meanwhile, just got his X-ray visor and his. Oh,
Got to get an artifact to show though.
We didn't cover that little boost there, but you can like boost up collision if you time it right, and the reason for that,
the damage trigger is for the walls there. I believe is above you, so the higher you lay the power bomb, the better.
Yeah, I remember like everything made sense when I found that out because. It doesn't, because I always used to think I had to lay the power bomb closer to the walls, but no, it's just in a really, really weird spot. Justin doing some really nice bunny hopping and dashing to get over here quickly. he did a slope jump to get up onto that. Oh, he's doing spinner skip. Yeah, I saw him practicing this earlier. So there's a series of jumps that you can do to skip having to, raise the other two spinners, and you just have to raise the second one. And nicely done for Justin getting the sloped R jump up to the ice beam door there. And I apologize if I'm not touching on everything in a timely manner. These runners are fast enough where it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah.
Justin was trying to land on a bit of collision there in workstation to just be able to dash to the door, but I'm not completely sure what happened. I'm not sure if he slid off or what. So Justin now is going to be making his way to Frindrana's Edge to be able to collect the Artifact of Spirit. Yeah, Artifact of Spirit. So he's going to do a dash off of the stalactite there to get across. And he's going to do a series of jumps here in Frindrana's Edge to get up to this branch, and then do a slope jump off of it to get to the platform. Really well executed. And now Justin's going to be going to labs to get I forget what the artifact in labs is.
Elder.
Thank you. He'll
Reminder that Artifact of Elder is not an Elder Chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll get Artifact of Elder. Then on his way out, he'll also get the Thermal Visor, which is convenience for Essence later on. But the important thing is that Justin gets a Power Bomb from Labs here. Because he needs a Power Bomb to be able to enter Phazon Mines, and he can only use one Power Bomb. He can only hold one Power Bomb at a time because expansions only give you one. And by holding a charge shot there, Justin was able to get the pirate that we call Edward to break the glass, because I believe he has an aggression trigger? Is that what it's called? And, oh, it looks like Edward actually dropped a power bomb, so I imagine Justin's going to, yeah, he's going to pick that up. No reason for him not to. It's been a long time since I've seen Edward drop a power bomb. And meanwhile, I couldn't see if he got the slope dart jump up to the door. I think he did. It has his plasma beam now. And Justin's going to shoot over this barrier to lower this tower. Normally what you're supposed to do is jump up above the door, shoot out some ice with the plasma beam, and then shoot through the little opening that you make there. That barrier is just low enough for you to be able to shoot over it.
The thermal visor in here, it's the cutscenes are pretty long, so skipping it actually saves not insignificant amount of RTA, but
I,
it's
unless you were
it makes
super
the effort
consistent with
right.
one, yeah, unless you were super consistent with one visor essence, I don't
Yeah,
think that would be.
yeah.
Oh, Pan getting hit by the flicker bats, I think, and falling all the way down. What's this? I'm forgetting the name of this room.
In in-game time, the thermal visor takes like something like 3 seconds,
Yeah,
not even. But then it saves a significant amount of time on the essence fight.
yeah. Frozen Pike, thank you, thank you guys. Yeah, like the time that thermal visor saves is just by virtue of consistency.
Yeah, I believe there was like a brief period of time where runs
Um,
skipped it, like back in like the early days. But then it's like
I do think I remember routes like that. I think it
it's
was
like
around the
it's
time of the
eventually
IDF route.
people realize that like there's no point in skipping it because it's all just cutscenes. It's the same
Hmm.
with Flogger. Like even if it was viable to skip Varia, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't do it in any percent because
It's just faster
it
to.
yeah it's the fight's a couple of seconds in game time,
Hmm.
and you would have to go like really far out of your way to skip it, either with getting a bunch of E-tanks or doing a task on like Secret World and major rerouting.
So Justin shot that. Is it Gimu or Zoomer? I always get them mixed up. Either way, he shot that enemy because it's the only one in that room that drops a power bomb, and it's guaranteed to drop a power bomb there. I believe, if I remember right, I believe it's because you're intended to come from that room behind, and they did that to prevent you from having to go all the way back into Phazon Mines to try and get a chance at a power bomb.
These are Zoomers.
Okay, thank you.
The Gamers are
The red ones.
uh yeah, they're red. Yeah, the Gamers are red.
Okay.
The Zoomers are blue.
Yeah. I think more importantly, the gamers have the retractables. Wait, which one has those? I'm focusing on this way too much. So Justin did a jump off the elite pirate's head to just skip the fight. It saves time. And so Justin is going to have to fight this elite pirate because he picked up a plasma beam. That's the trigger for this guy to spawn. But 10 missiles takes it out, and especially with rapid fire missiles, it's no problem at all. Alright, now let's see if Justin decides to go for maze skip. Oh, that looked early. So, do you want to explain Power Bomb Maze?
Yeah, so there are 300 different mazes. I believe they were all. They're not like generated. I believe they were all drawn.
Yeah.
But they're 300 separate mazes. Assuming you play them optimally, you have to get an odd number. And I believe there's one for every odd number between 15 and 55, except there's no 53.
That's correct, yeah. Wasn't really able to count how many squares that was. It looked probably mid-20s.
Yeah. It is determined when you enter the room, I believe.
That is correct, yeah.
Or is it when you enter the room or when the room loads?
Actually, I think it's when the room loads. So Pan is about to get his thermal visor, and Justin is about to. I've not seen that. Oh, that Metroid is. Okay, he managed to work with it. That Metroid did not look to be in a really good spot for him. Very nice MQA. So yeah, Justin made that room look a lot easier than it actually is. I wonder if we're going to see Justin try and attempt early newborn.
Josh C. What are you talking about? M177 isn't here.
It does look like he's going for it. Okay.
So, yeah, so basically, if you stand on the edge of this glider, he can kick you out of bounds.
Clip first try, too. Very nice. So he's going to get the map on the wrong room so that he can try to clip inbounds with the boost ball. So that he can... Well, I mean, he's still kind of out of bounds.
Yeah,
but...
clip through the wall.
Yeah, clip through the wall so that he can do a slope jump to pick up the artifact of newborn without having to go through the whole tunnel.
Yeah.
And then he's going to... Okay, so there he just picked it up. And then he's going to try and clip through the wall again so they can finally get back in bounds. And that looks like it's a good setup.
Yeah.
Oh no, he soft blocked. Oh no.
Oh no.
Where did he last save?
No, probably like ship save.
That's
Oh
it's easily like 10 to 15 minutes lost. Oh, so depending on how Pan plays, that might be a big game changer. We'll see if Justin will be able to... Yeah, that looks like ship save. So that might be a big game changer here. Pan is definitely in the lead now. We'll see how everything plays out, though. Metroid Prime is a very volatile game. It is very, very punishing for mistakes, so anything can still happen. I guess Pan forgot to turn off his stream alerts. It's all fine though. And so Pan is going to be dealing with this elite pirate here, and we'll see if he goes for maze skip. I hope that looks like he's trying for the setup for it. That was a little late. Unfortunate. That does not look like a good maze. No, that's a pretty bad maze, actually. Stitch, do you know if Pan does early newborn?
I do not.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to go for it or not. Pan doesn't? Okay, thank you, chat. So Pan throws that Metroid because freezing it there puts it in a very good spot to be able to dash off of. Oh, just barely missing the slope jump to get up there. It can be a little tricky. It's not the most intuitive slope jump in the game, and the Metroid is bullying him. I have never seen anyone freeze the Metroid as it latches on. I didn't know that was a thing. Wow, these Metroids are just not... Okay, he's dashing off the missile instead. That was a very interesting MQA. Justin is about 15 minutes. He lost about 15 minutes of progress. I want to say. I think that sounds about right. Okay, yeah. Pan is opting not to do early newborn. He will be heading straight through Fungal Hall B into MQB. Pan's PB is a 102 in-game time. Very nice scan dash across. And so what Pan is going to try and do is do a dash off of the pirate on the left here to get across. Very nicely done. And he's looking for missiles. He got one, and he has, that looks to be enough power bombs for the rest of the game. Really, I believe 4 is enough. Yeah, 4 should be enough at this point. 2 here. Yeah, it's more than enough. Some of his missiles are just not finding their target. It can be a little tricky. And it looks like he's going for Trooper Skip. So if you lay a power bomb at the right time, it that looked like it was a little early, I believe. But if you lay a power bomb at the correct time, you'll skip the bit of animation where the Omega Pirate calls the troopers in, and it reduces a lot of the lag that happens in this room. Is it too? Okay, I did. Okay, too far back. So what Pan is doing now is just firing 2 charge shots into him while making sure that the uncharged shot doesn't hit him. And then a common timing cue for this power bomb here is usually when you hear the Omega Pirate laughing. That was a very clean fight. Besides the trooper skip, besides the failed trooper skip, which I believe that's about. It's a really tight window. I don't want to say frame perfect because I don't know for sure. Also, you will see gravity.
What's frame perfect?
Trooper
Maybe?
skip.
Oh, for trooper skip, it's no, the timing's pretty lenient.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just the timing depends on how far you are. You need the power bomb to connect with him at a certain time, so it cuts off his animation.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so if you're really close, then you'll want to lay it late, and if you're farther away, then you'll lay it early.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if it connects too early, then you'll hear him screaming like he's taking damage, but it doesn't do anything, and then he spawns the pirates. If you do it too late, it does cut the animation short, but the pirates still spawn. And
Okay.
it I believe that also loses RTA because
Yeah, it'll delay.
it'll make it lag.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what effect it has on in-game time. It'd probably be pretty minuscule though.
Yeah, it would be a minuscule. This backtrack that Pan is doing is the backtrack that Justin was trying to eliminate with the early newborn wall crawl.
Yeah.
It saves about a minute. Well, a minute in-game time. I'm not sure how much RTA it saves. It might be about the same.
I don't think it would save any RTA because there's no cutscenes.
Well, but the backtrack.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a difference between IGT and RTA.
Okay.
IGT and RTA differences come from cutscenes, elevators, or I guess those are also cutscenes, but it's also like loads. Door loads don't, because it's like you'll wait at the door, and so that's you doing IGT. But the elevators, if you're like, and then also lag.
Yeah. Both of our runners are really, really good at the game. They're both playing at a really high level right now. Actually, I believe Pan is still single segment right now, isn't he?
Yes.
Also, Pan is coming up to one of the most volatile sections of the run, which would be spiderless shafts. Both elevator access A and B normally require spider ball to climb up, but there's a whole bunch of collision that you can stand on to avoid having to do that. The problem is that this collision is not very...
The collision and like there's an invisible trigger you can touch there that if you do that then the door locks. Or not the door locks, the shield comes up.
Oh yeah, Pan was skipping the Elite Pirate fight there. Yeah, so Pan is coming up to the first spiderless shaft. This is access.
This is the hardest room
B,
in 80%.
I mean, I would argue that it's probably the second one, but the BSJ.
They're both bad.
They're both they're both bad.
They're both bad for different reasons. Like
yeah,
I'd
for
say,
this one it's landing on that box that Pan is trying to land on right now. I believe that there's another there's so many different ways of doing this, including landing on the box to the left of you.
Shaft 1 setups they expire, so like if you use the Shaft 1 setup for too long, it stops working, and so you have to find a new one. So yeah,
That
then you
looks
just kind of
good.
wedge into this corner and you jump your
Yeah,
way up.
there's a bit
The
of collision on this spider track that you stand. I don't know if it's the spider track or if it's actually on the wall itself, but it's somewhere there.
I'd say like the first one is probably harder. This one's more obnoxious just because the
Yeah.
rock can reject you repeatedly.
I mean, there's actually a method I've yeah
Oh,
yeah
you got the
man,
rock first try.
yeah. There's actually a method that I believe it was Link. He made a video on it that like kind of shows how you can get onto that rock really consistently.
Yeah.
Which yeah, it kind of involves just kind of tapping the stick and not holding it when you're trying to get up onto the rock. Just kind of letting the collision push you up.
If I can get like a shaft of one setup that doesn't expire, then
I think you're out of luck there.
with early X-ray, I might come back to any percent.
I think you're out of luck there. Pam brought up the map there, by the way, to get rid of the
I believe it is.
flag in this room. Yeah, this tournament is double elimination, and both.
Oh no, he fell in MQA.
Yeah, this is double elimination, and we are on the winner's side right now. So whoever loses this match is going to go down into the loser's bracket.
But early X-ray is cool. Like, it's fun.
Oh, I don't believe we went over the elite pirate type AI, did we?
No. If whenever you like start the fight, they do like if they look at you, they do this animation where like they put their fists together or something. And then they actually start trying to attack you. But the thing is they want to like look you in the eye before they start attacking you. And so what you do is you just lock onto them and circle around them, and they'll keep turning to face you, and they don't do anything. It's really funny.
They need to have a line of sight on you to be able to do that animation for whatever reason. Justin, by the way, going for early newborn again. Really interesting, but it looks like okay. I was worried he soft locked there somehow. He's having trouble finding the standable spot though. For whatever reason, walls on the wrong side are very sticky in the Prime games, and there's only certain spots where you can actually stand on them.
I believe it's because the collision is one-sided.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so
Pan, meanwhile, is heading back to Talon. He's going.
Yeah,
He does need to make a small detour back to Hall of the Elders to get Artifact of World.
Yeah,
but it's not too far out of the way, luckily. And I
love how Artifact of Sun is not in Sun Chamber. Artifact of Life Giver isn't in Life Grove. And Artifact of Chozo is not in Chozo.
Justin got the first clip.
Okay, yeah.
And
okay.
That looks good. And he got in. Okay, there we go. Well done by Justin.
Yeah, Exo Skip, I believe it saves about a little under 2 minutes on the in-game timer, and then it saves even more time RTA because
I think it's actually about a minute in-game time.
No, that was when it was first discovered, but there have been like tons of optimizations since then.
Oh, have there? Okay.
Yeah.
Pam, by the way, since both of our runners did IBBF, we're going to see them attempt something called Ghost Skip. There's like a huge trigger in Hall of the Elders that normally triggers the first Chozo Ghost fight, which locks the doors, which is important while you try and skip it. And if you just land on the right collision and avoid touching that trigger, you can you can skip this. You can skip the fight in this room, but it's only this is the only thing that makes IBBF worth it. Otherwise, it would be faster, I believe, in-game time to just do the energy core puzzle and get Ice Beam inbounds. Oh, just a little too far to the left there. Unfortunate. Speaking 3 rating us with a party of 126. Hello, everyone. I would like to know how that charge beam shot Pan fired missed that ghost. Okay, so there is just one more artifact that Pan needs to collect now, and it's on the way to the final bosses. Justin, meanwhile, has already beaten Omega Pirate, gotten his Phazon suit, and did not have to backtrack for Newborn because he did the early Newborn wall crawl. So we're going to see how he does on spiderless shafts. Excuse me. Wow, barely.
Let's see what Shaft 1 setup he uses.
Yeah. It's always really interesting to see what setup people use for the first shaft. Because there's just so many that can work.
Operative word can.
Oh, he got up there.
Not do.
That was actually a
that
really
was
clean,
really nice.
That was a really clean shaft 1.
And let's see, shaft 2. First try.
Yeah, also very clean. I remember like the first
shaft 2 looks like really cool to like see it done.
Yeah,
fast. They're just like jumping in and around the electric rings.
I actually remember like the first. I'm not sure how long it was, but it was like when spiderless shafts were just implemented. We would try and jump onto the pipe to the left instead of that bit of collision on the wall on the right, and that collision on the wall is just much easier to land on than the pipe.
Yeah, and it's a lot closer too.
Yeah,
faster and easier.
Best of both worlds.
And he gets the cutscene overlap.
Mm-hmm. And
Pan entering the Ridley fight.
We'll see if he gets a flyby skip. There's like one frame where if you hit Ridley as he's about to fly away, he'll skip his little flyby bombing and just go right to his. It does not look like he's going for it. He's just going for mid-air boost, and he got it.
Yeah, his name is Calvin. So mid-air boost. Does mid-air boost save RTA? I don't know.
It actually loses RTA, but saves in game time.
Oh yeah. So mid-air boost, it causes it so that there's because the boost deals 50,000 damage per frame, it instantly wipes at his first phase. Mid-air boost allows it so that the change between phase 1 and phase 2 happens in the air, and you get this cutscene.
Mhm.
Whereas if you don't do mid-air boost, he'll jump down while in-game time is progressing, and then you boost him, and there's no cutscene.
Speaking of which, that's the first time I've seen someone get mid-air boost and Ridley not try and dash him out of the cutscene.
Ridley's dash attack is so annoying.
It really is. Pan is doing a series of shots here, by the way, to try and skip a phase of... Oh, it looks like he's like just a couple of uncharged shots off.
No, come on. No! A dash! Oh, and he gets a snipe.
Okay.
Yo.
Still a really good Ridley fight.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, on the PAL version of the game, Ridley's dash attack does not have his hand covering his mouth, so you don't have to manually...
It looks weird. I've seen it. It looks weird to see him dashing without covering his mouth with his hand.
Yeah.
Also, he has a new attack where he like jumps.
Yeah,
up
he
in
has
the air
a
and
ground
does, like, power slam.
And, yeah, and I believe he's invincible during the whole duration of it. There's nothing you can do to interrupt that.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've played the PAL version, so my memory's a little...
I don't think I've ever played the PAL version, but I know that they have the same thing in the NTSC-J version.
Yeah, NTSC-J and even Trilogy are based off of... I actually think it's the... I
believe they've got like a combination of stuff from PAL
it's a really weird combination of PAL and I think actually
Player's Choice.
No, there's actually no Player's Choice changes in there.
There aren't any?
No. I think it's a weird combination of PAL and 0-01?
I don't know. Well, no, because the only change with 0-1 is the Arboretum gate skip, which is also
that's the only sequence break that's changed. I believe there were some cosmetic changes that were made that just aren't really documented. Pan opting not to go for Exo skip, by the way.
Essence, and then also Subchamber 4.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Exo, the first subchamber starts with, it cycles between the 4 beams. First subchamber is only Power Beam and Wave Beam. Next subchamber adds Ice Beam, next subchamber adds Plasma, and then subchamber 4 it just randomly decides between them. What Pan is doing is actually a form of AI manipulation. By standing in front of Exo, it will always try and do this swiping attack, and with the right timing with the jumps, you can just keep looping it into this attack pattern, and it actually mitigates a lot of the RNG in the fight. Not all of it, but it does help out a lot. I do believe that if you get hit, though, it resets his AI for some reason. I don't know all of the intricate details about it.
I don't actually know anything about the extra AI minute.
And it's like if you try and get if you try to get close to him, he'll try and swipe at you. That's really what I know. Oh, Justin got the low. Oh, that's it. Okay, thank you, East. So East was saying in the chat that if you get hit, it pushes you too far away to continue the AI manipulation.
I think Pan's probably going to get, for this run, either probably about a 103.
It really depends on the last subchamber and Essence.
Yeah.
Also, what Pan, you're seeing Pan shoot him as he's Exo is charging. That power beam is a really bad beam to start with here, by the way.
Yeah. Ideally, you want to ice, either ice or plasma, and then get one of the weak. So, like, there are the two strong ones, ice and plasma, and the 2 weak ones, wave and power.
Mhm.
And so ideally, you want to start with a strong one and then alternate between strong and weak, because then you can get the snipes and you can make the
So-
weak phases
So,
shorter.
like, what Pan is going to try and want after this ice phase here, in getting these snipes, is ideally he wants a wave beam phase because ice beam does a lot of damage to Exo. And, oh, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Um,
Plasma's good too, though. If you
it
can
is
get the
good.
snipe.
Yeah, there's. Okay, he got the first snipe, so that's already like 100 damage, I believe, off. Okay, he got both, so this wave phase is not going to take too much longer.
Yep. So that's the first phase of the final boss. He's entering subchamber 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, subchamber 4 is the most random because for every
Plasma is
previous.
actually. Oh,
No.
Plasma is actually a really good start here, but without warning, Exo can just decide to switch beam phases. He can also decide to go really, really fast for whatever reason. No idea why.
Justin's about to finish up Ridley.
Now it's ice.
Ice.
Oh, that's really good RNG. Ideally, he wants another Plasma phase now.
No.
Oh, ice bombs. Oh, he just got
Oh.
doubled.
I mean, it's a plasma.
It's
though.
on
What?
Plasma.
No.
So, what? Exo
Oh,
is not cooperating right now.
jeez.
And he let out more bombs.
These bombs are obnoxious. No.
Another charge!
Oh.
I mean, the beam RNG is good, but everything else is kind of not helping him.
Yeah. So on this phase, they can randomly switch beams. They can randomly. Okay, I think that's like. No!
Wow!
No!
Exo, please!
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, I think now it's probably like 104 base, probably.
Justin, meanwhile, is setting up Exoskip, actually. He's already fought Ridley. Pim, by the way, is doing an AI manipulation by doing absolutely nothing in this room.
Samus wins by doing absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Staying just where you are when the fight starts gets Essence to lay a pool in one of 4 locations, all 4 of them pretty favorable for doing this fight optimally. And what Pan is doing right...
you can explain it.
Yeah. So Pan is doing what's called attack canceling. Essence will always go through a set number of attacks before laying its next pool. But by canceling the animation, it'll still add to the counter, but you won't have to see all those actions like attacking or moving around. So it gets you to each pool faster.
Oh, he got the secret world, but he did not get the BSJ.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So Justin was doing a similar reposition to earlier, much earlier in the beginning of the run, where he would go out of bounds by letting the Metroid this time reposition him.
Here he's doing pool cancels. If you shoot, and then leave the pool, your shots will come out, and he's done.
Yep, Pan is finished with an official SRL time of 1:24.16.
So if you shoot while outside the pool, like you hold the A button and leave the pool, you'll fire a shot that doesn't consume ammo, and so it lets you do extra damage from.
It's not really that. The pool has the pool decays slower while you're outside of it. So by going in and out,
really?
Yeah. So by going in and out, you delay that decay, and it lets you get more shots in with the pool.
I thought it was so it's standing in the pool that makes it decay, not shooting in the pool.
Yeah, that's correct.
Huh. That's dumb.
It is. Metroid Prime, though. Um,
Okay, now he's okay, so
don't
it
remember.
looks like
That's
please watch the Essence tutorial. Okay, I will.
that's how I remember it being explained to me. So that information may be wrong. Justin, meanwhile, getting a very clean exo skip despite falling. So he actually caught up very, very well despite the
Okay.
the
It's actually
early
this could be a
newborn.
103.
We'll see.
Or wait, no, it's probably either a 103 or maybe a 102 actually, because that was a pretty fast Essence.
We'll see.
Okay, so the pool is alien can spend and it starts decaying.
103. Yep.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay.
I didn't know the exact time though, but I figured it's like because I know it disappears if you don't do anything with it.
Yeah. So Justin's just doing the attack canceling right now, and then on this last one, he's going to do some pool canceling to get that extra damage in.
Normally, you're supposed to have to use 4 pools.
At minimum, yeah.
Yeah, the pool canceling lets you do it in 3. It's actually technically possible to do a 2-pool fight, but 2-pool is unless you can do both attack cancels and pool cancels at the same time optimally, you're not going to save time with 2-pool.
And Justin has finished with an official SR all time of 127.15.
He'll interview when ready. Okay, I think.
We're ready for you to come in whenever, Pan. Same for you, Justin. If you guys want an interview, come on in. What is it, 3 1/4?
Do Justin and Pan need an invite to the?
They may. Give me a second here on my end.
The mango.
I'm checking to see if a bot gave him an invite. I am not sure.
What if we like add them in tournament discussion or something?
I love that you type out what you talk. Okay, we're having some issues with a bot. Yeah, okay. The bot is not. Pan is saying that, and the IRC that the bot has not given them an invite.
Okay, well, I'll send Pan and Justin an invite.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me send one to Pan, and then let me send one to Justin. Okay.
We are getting that sorted out
Should be
now.
here soon.
We're just having problems with the bot sending out invite links. That's all. Oh,
Hello?
and here's
Yeah,
Pan. GG.
I feel dirty. I didn't deserve to win that.
I mean,
So that was pretty clutch.
I mean,
I think it's funny that Justin actually almost brought it back though.
yeah, he like just got out of bounds for exo skip as you were entering. Was it like just as? Yeah, I believe so.
The what happened in Exo 4? That was tragic.
That
We were
was
like
funny.
shouting,
That
like,
was
no!
funny.
Why,
I was
why are they keep dashing?
I've never. Man, that was that was something else. I fell in Frozen Pike and Great Tree Hall, so that was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of swimming.
Actually, I'm curious if you would have tied or beat your PB had those mistakes not happened, because you were
I
like just
probably
1
would've
minute
tied.
off your PB, right?
It's possible. Lower Mines was so bad too. So like, I definitely could have PB'd with that, but
Yeah. I mean, you were playing really well, all things considered.
yeah, I played pretty well except for I did make a couple big mistakes, but honestly, I wasn't too upset with how things turned out.
Well, it looked like
Frigate Escape, I was a little bit nervous for, but it's no big deal.
it did look like the Frozen Pike fall was because a Flicker Bat kind of hit you.
Yeah, I also like just jumped down there wrong.
Okay.
Normally, I'm supposed to jump like a little bit further to the left, and I think I was in the trajectory of a Flicker Bat or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you were still playing like really, really well. I mean, it was
Almost tied PB with that Exo fight. It
Yeah,
was so obnoxious.
Yeah.
it was plasma ice, but like
Yeah. At first we thought it
But
was
then-
going well because
but
it's
then
like
he
plasma ice, plasma ice.
then he just started running across the
There's the
room.
freezing. There's the repeated charging.
I was like,
There's
man.
repeatedly sending out the bomb.
And there was like a one last troll right there at the end. It was on wave, but
Wave.
then just switched to power
Yeah.
before it hit.
And he looked like he had like no health left. He kept shooting it. It wasn't dying.
It was like that was one of the trollier exo fights that I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I looked over, but it was crazy because like I looked over at my monitor because Justin and I agreed to let each other just look at the stream and the restream and everything. I look over and he's on ship save. I'm like, oh shit.
Something I'm wondering about with the soft lock that happened there. Could you like infinite boost to build up a ridiculous amount of speed to
No.
get that?
I'm not qualified to answer that.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was wondering if I could
soft locks
leave it
like
at
that.
Justin.
No. For soft locks like that, no matter what you do, you're not going to get out of there.
You're not gonna build. You can't build up speed.
I don't believe so. No. I mean, I am someone more qualified could say something, but I don't believe that you.
Hazel
would be
said
able
you
to.
need like 1 million.
You'd need like 1 million, and so I'm guessing that would take longer than resetting. Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
Yeah.
It would take hours.
I was thinking like if it would take like a few minutes of boosting, that might be worth. But
Yeah.
no.
I don't know if Justin's going to interview. but-
Yeah.
He's
the game
already
to him-
let
he actually
already
played
left
really well.
SRL. So,
Yeah.
so I guess he won't be joining us for an interview.
Okay, well,
Yeah, he played well. It's unfortunate what happened to him,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Wow,
it's-
that's several days.
So Hazel is telling us in chat that there's a secret world using an infinite boost that takes like several days of speed gathering to be able to use.
Yeah.
How long does the one in Central Dynamo take?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought that was a infinite speed.
I believe it is.
No, I
If
thought
if
it
I'm
was
remembering-
I thought it was an infinite boost.
No, I believe it's an infinite speed one.
Infinite something. Yeah. I guess that's it from me.
Yeah. Yeah. GG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
GG to you. GG to Justin as well. Both of you guys were playing really, really well.
Yeah, so I think my path to grand finals is pretty easy. I just need everybody else that I face in tournament to die on lower mines. First two are check marks, so I think we're on good pace here.
So yeah, everyone, please follow our runners, Pan and Justin. They played very, very well. It was definitely a very entertaining race to watch. Follow my co-commentator here, Stitch Lord.
And follow THK too.
THK is cool.
And then that is
That's the schedule for upcoming races. I believe there's a race
Mhm.
tomorrow, and
there is a race tomorrow at 1 p.m. that is going to be Venmi versus Icefire, and then on Monday actually is
Venmi versus Icefire is definitely going to be one you want to check out.
absolutely
Yeah, it's gonna be a good race.
And then on Monday at 2 p.m. I will actually be racing Durko.
Yeah, there's a bunch of races coming up because it's a losers bracket
Mhm.
round one.
We have winners round 3, I believe this is, and losers round 1 happening at the same time.
Yep.
So expect a lot of races to be coming up pretty soon. As they get scheduled, like keep an eye on that schedule, because as people find out about like their opponents' availability and things like that, that there's going to be a lot of races scheduled. And with that, I believe that's about everything that needs to be said. Any final words from either of you?
No, I think
No, I'm good. I'm still subbing to Justin though. I told him I'd sub if he beat me, and then I was like, yeah, that's guaranteed. Whatever.
It's Metroid Prime. Nothing's guaranteed in this game.
All right, yeah.
That's GG. I guess everyone have a good day.
Yep. Congratulations again to you, Pan, and I hope everyone here has a good night and a good rest of the weekend.